Chapter 14. Time to Play. As the stars sang their sweet song, animals came walking into the backyard. These animals were beyond amazing. There were species we had never seen before, as well as ones we knew from Earth. They all sang in different languages and tongues that melded into a waterfall of enthralling resonance. We were still laughing with the stars and had gone to that place where you clutch your belly and double over with your mouth open and no sound comes out. One of my favorite things to do in life. Laugh until it hurts. It's the most excellent medicine. Suddenly, an exquisite giraffe walked up to the open window next to our table and stuck her long neck right in. She plucked an orange wedge from the table and ate it. Her grace and beauty was incredible, and I immediately loved her with such intense love, like when I met Spirit. We noticed that all the animals were so full of grace and gentleness that we wanted to run and wrap our arms around them. Even the cows, which we could see in the distance, were calling us to come and love them. In fact, our backyard was like a zoo. Take into consideration that our backyard was the size of a small country. The birds talked to us as they cleared the table. "Aren't they amazing?" they twittered merrily. "As you are too," I laughed. "Ah, yes, we all. The cows are not to eat. Not here, no, not at all, not at all. They mow the grass and give milk sweet. That is all. We kept laughing. I reached up to pet the giraffe, whose head was still sticking in through the window. She smiled and licked me with her long tongue. Her coat was like velvet, and her colors the most vibrant orange, brown, and pure white. I leaned over the table, wrapped my arms around her head, and kissed her. Her eyelashes were as thick as commercial paintbrushes. I combed them with my fingers, so soft to the touch. She loved me with her eyes and invited me outside with a song in another tongue. I climbed out the window. She picked me up gently with her mouth and tossed me onto the top of her neck, right behind her head. I slid backwards down her neck, landing neatly on a small, yellow leather saddle with red crosses stitched all around the edges. It was custom made for me. I had always wanted one. Somewhere in my heart it had always been a desire, and my father knew. Now here I was, about to ride a singing giraffe. Cameron, in the meantime, was face to face with a rhino. They were both laughing loudly as they played and wrestled on the lush green lawn. The rhino would throw Cameron off, tossing him in the air harmlessly with his horn. He would spin around wildly, with Cameron trying to hold onto his horn. The rhino would win, of course, sending Cameron sailing through the air to land in a heap of uncontrollable laughter. Rhino's eyes were like blue lights, his skin a silver blue, and unexpectedly soft to the touch, but still it was thick. Cameron said later it was like sitting on the best padded foam seat. No need for a saddle. He could hold on by sinking his knees into the skin. The rhino spoke English in broken, backward rhyme, much like Yoda in Star Wars. It was very entertaining. "On my back, go if you want to, dare if you climb to, know me not to scare you, world in this realm, fear no here, up climb, fast you steer, play horn, no harm, others with queer charm, animals magical peers." Cameron caught on and continued, off go, valley this we gallop, limit of speed, limits no bounds, strength of sound, around, and romp, with stomp mystical pounding, play strong, play long, abounding frolic in every tongue of laughter loud. We rode off together on our newfound friends and enjoyed a long, adventurous day of play. We met many other animals and easily learned their languages, songs, and sounds. It was thrilling. Our spirits all soared together as we rode on and played with different animals, fish, and birds. We swam, flew, and galloped all day, which could have been several weeks or months, through the breathtaking countryside, lakes, rivers, hills, and mountains, never tiring. We were children again, more free than we had ever been. I found the giraffe again and got back on my saddle. Her name was Lilty, I never wanted to leave her back or this day to end, which of course it didn't, as long as we didn't want it to. Lilty sang in my own language. My heart is as tall as I am blessed by trees with the leaves never falling. In this eternal spring home of mine, sway with me as we hear his voice calling. Near clouds in the heights where I feed on the sweet green fingers of acacia trees. Her voice was honeyed opera and rang out around me as I lay back in my saddle in the tickling touch of the sun. The leaves were there just for her, alive, waiting to be her meal, waiting to bless her with their fragrant, nutritious fingers. They also sang, eat us, Lilty-Loo. We want to be your scrumptious food. Eat us, we are here for you. It was all crazy and amazing. And we could come here any time and stay. I kept falling more in love with Lilty. Or perhaps with all this true rest, my love was able to grow like it was made to. Spirit grazed nearby. She was not at all jealous of Lilty, and she loved to stay close and listen to Lilty's songs as much as I did. Spirit was in need of much rest as well. Every now and then other animals would attend her, scampering around her, ministering to her. She was very honored among the other animals and beings. She sighed, thoroughly enjoying the pampering. The rhino walked up to us with Cameron lying on his side, quite satisfied. Brindle call me, name is mine, to pond in water swim so fine. Come with us, Baba John, Cameron lulled lazily. I said to Lilty, Brindle wants to take us swimming. She kept grabbing leaves high above us, as if she could not hear me. I saw a horn like a small megaphone hanging from my saddle. I hadn't noticed it before. I laughed and caught it up to my mouth and bellowed, Brindle wants to take us swimming. Lilty began licking her front leg where sap had dripped and suddenly noticed Brindle. Hello, Brindle. She arched her head around to direct her words to me. It seems Brindle wants to take us swimming. We all exploded with laughter. Ah-li-la-li-la, Lilty sang in her operatic flow. Small things just love to swim and float in clearest lakes and mansion moats, to paddle around in sunny glades, in calmest ponds on restful days. Off we go to Brindle's favorite place. Her captivating song came alive and bounced through the air. I could almost see the words with a little ball bouncing on top of them like in the old cartoons. I want to emphasize again that everything in this journey was alive. Newborn melodies fresh on the breeze were no exception. They were even more alive in their innocent youth as they curled through the air and melted in our ears. Our ears ate the tunes. Everything here brimmed with song, so we would never starve for notes. This is how it is with all sound, and it is the reason why we all love pure music. Our spirits swallow melodies from God's heart and heal us. We galloped off as Brindle led us to his favorite watering hole. It was a lake, the bluest, clearest lake that ever was. We ran and jumped in. It felt like a very thin jelly. It grabbed us and soothed us with its touch as we floated. After a good long soak, we met Brindle's children, the twins, Boar and Brace, and the oldest daughter, Bradle. She was painfully shy, carrying high-level grace, a princess among the animals, and wholly loved by them all. Her horn was made of solid pearl. She watched over the twins as they soaked and drank. We became fast friends. Her mother came out of the clearing as we were getting to know each other. I knew you would attract a most excellent acquaintance, she trilled out. Her voice, too, had an operatic sound. Greetings, I am Braille, Brindle's bride. She was the nimblest rhino you could imagine. She pranced over to the lake and lay down, falling fast asleep. Braille began to sing a healing song in her father's backward tongue while we all lay in the shallows of the gelatinous water. After our swim, she sang on as our ears feasted on the notes, and we fell fast asleep. Call, call I you to deep, such sleep back to you've never had. Dreams are not dreamed, there nothing is. Glad you to this slumber go. Tumble now, go, let go. Leafy bed on grass does sink. No, think behind you leave old land. Refresh new time, daughter and son of man. Cameron and I lay next to each other on the plump grass and were lost in a deep sleep. I awoke to a nice surprise. Shadow was sitting on my chest. Still a cub, she licked me and pranced around us, her eyes dancing and laughing to see us. I picked her up and hugged her tight. I feel like you have always been here with us in these sleep journeys as well, I said. I feel so refreshed. Shadow sang in a small voice. For time of trips, for time of war, much needed rest you'll have to store. You sing in rhyme too, I sang back to her. And so do you, she sang back again. Everything here can choose to sing, rhyme, tongue, or sound, and there will be understanding all around. Of course, that is what I am made of. I see it now. Sound, song, water and blood. We came from his heart and we live in his love. We charge to crusade, we rest in his shade. We sing of his never-ending grace. We live to ever see his face. We live to ever see his face. Shadow repeated like a chorus. Yes, for time of trips, for time of war, much needed rest you'll have to store. Then she sat down and stated clearly, rest, store, ration, without which you will not make it. You must store up for what is to come. Now take it. Then peace will be your stance and love your drum, beating you on with courage and faith through every battle. It is rest, store, ration. When you are not at war or travel, you must rest, play, laugh, and dabble. With that, she got up and motioned with her head for us to follow. Well, come on, let's go dabble.